Sangpo samji tashi dili shukuyu.
Tashi to everyone.
Ngöndro beja de ngone nyamdo songro nang. Guru bema bao kanro zot cheba damje ko garadam sondak nganye loyang doje gom rikbaran sharge ngowo dala det chadil je dadan jet siljembe dunye namgaran jembara injurum Jelama Ngöndro Namji Mendalan Doje Jengize Dündadan Kamsum Zem Jena Semloma Dengengan Donam Desenen Julbena Waragya Mandro Jurbezem Jela Porare Do Benal Jorne Shenga Jene Zodem Binjir Palama je jone lunga ye da nyo me ne bar tende san go be de la ba le jawa de je da la Nere dreve benya yendero Tara jende nyendro bai Jelama kandro zo namje Medage go zomje njelo Medage go zomje njelo Medage go zomje njelo Ola zo tinin dene lungko jo salgo ba yindu ne lungko jo denga zo sambanyam do saro na shugi
Is the exhalation of the stale breath. So please follow me in doing this practice.
laso nindi jela soldeb da jelab shwa de indu sozo chezo do hani nama gorum ba jela ngo sa wala makom tela de solo tse do tamne ne jelab da ngor tam jen na song sam hani lame ko song to sum da rang ni di longa yesum yer me de jor so sam de da hani lo do na ba shi tse de do nyam do so ye de nyam do na ro na shu gi
Next is this application and soliciting the blessings. So for that, we visualize the Guru Buche in form, Guru Buche, and in essence, our own root goal above our head, crown, and then we ourselves are becoming one with the gurus. From our body, speech, mind, and then at the same time we are completely blessed by the gurus from above. And along with this, then we chant the verses of the four mind changing. Please follow me in doing this practice.
Balde Zave Lama Rembo Tage Jeora Beme De La Jo Gade Jembe Gone Jes Gozon Duje Ngöndro Zaldo Zo Dezon Sanje Dan Jeje Ngo Lama Rembo Jeje Dage Ju Minje Jolwara Jeje Labdo Zon Sede Sablam Je Doba Je Bara Je Jula Je Wara Jeje Labdo Zon Sede Nye La Ozala Zoba Jembe Lamjo Darj Jeje Labdo Zon Dezon Sanje Dam Jeje Ngo Lama Rembo Jeje Dage Ju Minje Jolwara Jeje Labdo Zon Sablam Je Doba Je Bara Je Jula Je Wara Jeje Labdo Zon Sede Nye La Ozala Zoba Jembe Lamjo Darj Jeje Labdo Zon Dezon Sanje Dam Jeje Ngo Lama Rembo Jeje Dage Ju Minje Jolwara Jeje Sablam Je Doba Je Bara Je Jula Je Wara Jeje Labdo Zon Sede Nye La Ozala Zoba Jembe Taje Bara Jeje Labdo Zon Solwa Devzo Lama Rembo Dongwe Bedo Jeje Jeje Je Kalme Dan Reza Jule Me Duye Yerme Jeb Jeje Lo Yema Dage Jeje Kane Ja Daljoro Dene Shindo Je Barang Tone Jezo Nyezo Jela Nye Kewa Drub Longa Majo Na Renje Ling Tonglo Nyendo Kalde Jeje Pemba Majo Chine Milu Nyeba Gala Juru Dada Debi Kuru Arabji Ledre Milu Dembe Ngöndro Dongala Some Sebe Jazo La Koryang Sobe Nyomo Nings Jalwa Namje Lenge Dala Ze Lenye Da Kandro Damje Damze Bala Jemin Taudo Se Chela Chebe Tunde Nishu Longmen De La Lelo Nye Wangdo Tangwe Nye Me Dangne Nye Jeman Jewe Dede Lengende Kosum Deje Danyom Lama Ye Dam Namji Tudre Je Kandro Namje Kaye Chebo Dewe Tani Minyal Yala Long Chungse Chejang Sonam Jewi Kewe Chawa Chaldo Jo La Ju On La So Hene Tene Ngazo Yangja Tami Chu Rubele Ngöndro Rinpa De Tanyamne Cheshimba Yimbare Kain Sanada Chu Sulshindu Rubko Yuna Tangbo Ngöndro De Ene Kechumba Chakuyure Ngöndro Rinpa De Yangda Baji Chen Zona Ene Sem De Tembo Chedang Sem De Chue La Ne De La Yo Me Baji Yunguyure 대중 아닌 것이 냠낸 데도라 아니 양다 버지 로투비로와 Tende yundu Dhamma Ngöndro kechun parayas.
The Buddha Dharma, we are at the point of practicing the preliminary Buddha Dharma, and in order to do our proper Dharma practice, the preliminary Dharma is very important, especially proper preliminary Dharma practice, with those proper procedures. It's very important. And through this proper preliminary Dharma, then we will have a stable mind and not disturbed mind. So with this, then we will be able to practice the man body practice very well. So therefore, the preliminary Dharma practice is, coming to be very important.
Ninda Ngöndro tela Tomong chi Ngöndro lodo namba shi komba na Tomong nang tumi nang ni Ngöndro jabdo semje la soba. Ani rembe komyo yobale tanda nga zo ani ta sem judi tene dulwar cheba am sem de ani lomba soe je kyuso de Tomong chi Ngöndro yinza Tomong chi Ngöndro lodo namba shi ni do komshin be kable ane kashi kumsar ne tanda nga zo ane koru tungal de samlo tongshin bayi.
So then, as for the preliminary Dharma practice, there are two parts: the common and the uncommon preliminary practices. As for the common preliminary practice, then we have the practice of four mind changings, and for the uncommon preliminary practice, we have practice such as the refuge, taking refuge, as well as generating the bodhicitta, so forth, and then we are doing the common preliminary practice, and therefore in these subject we have already covered several topics, and now we are at the point of talking about suffering, the topic on suffering.
Koru dungal de samlo dango ba le ane koru chi dungal de go la nga zo samlo dang sembare dan chada roar do re sam dungal de samlo dang go ba indu ane tele nga zo nyawe dungal de samlo dong jamba yin tele da ko sanyal ji kor samlo dong shimbar le ane sanyal yangsu samlo dang sar ne ta de menje kale nga zo samlo dang yin.
So then the suffering of the samsaric world, we have talked about the general suffering of the samsaric world, as well as the specific suffering of the samsaric world, in terms of the six realms, beings within the six realms. And within these six realms, we are at the point of talking about the suffering of the hell beings. And we have already talked about about this point already a little bit. And now we will continue from the topic of the suffering of the hot hell beings.
Nyawe dungal denzo samlo tangdu ngaya goba chigla ane nyawa de samchen shen jik che sanne shen jik che ane mi kansa shenpa che dungal nyong shenpa tende samlo ma dongwa che ane sozo rang nyawe sanne de la ne de yo ba sozo rang dungal de nyong yu namba che de ne samlo tang gogo yu re tende che na ane sem de la ane gujyo tebe dang sem choye la ane penlap che wa yu re.
So then for this practice, we should not think of the suffering of the hell beings or the realm. The hell realm is, something, outside of our own experience, is not connected to us or not related to us. we should not take it in that way, but instead if we could think of the suffering of the hell beings as if our own sufferings, if we could relate it to our own life, then it will benefit us in a more effective way or to a greater degree,
당가zo nyawa tsanyal jenang ne tangbo di ngazo ngoma samlo tang sarje anyeba tingna de samlo tang daya yin tingna de sashi tamje chaji sayi rangshin deyang de member de yoba sa chaji jungdo tongsum jingden de nyamba dene je samlo tang des sozo de sajala dene yoba je ane dene je samlo tang ne ane sozo luye de dene xing 가서 그래 동물이네 마 샤샤죠나 리네 샤죠나 저 소소 소부데 마 냐외 신제 레근데 리네 샤 아니 신제 레근데 저 초카고 가서 셈그도다 아니 소부데 담네 샤그도다 데네 샤죠데라 아니 르이 러틱만 보 잠네 틱 시당 아니 갑가셔서니 틱게 양갑가셔서 틱 주주 갑가셔서 틱 숨주소니 데네 잡아 삼로당 틱디 강라다 틱 잡아 삼지 개요 말아와 틱 땡도 아니 소글레 아니 젤 멤버 되요 봐 어때네 전에 소부데마 테네 도메시헬 제조제 삼로당 시데 신베감나 아니 양 제심바당 소부데 양스 양제 양스 양제 어때네 양자되네 가서 그래 제바다 다나신도 동보제 아니 주주 숨주소니 다 소소 소부디마 냐네데 동안 영화 삼로당 보고 요래 다 된대지란 교스 삼로당은 나쇼이.
Yeah, now regarding the first, the suffering of the hell realm, we have already talked a bit about it, and then the second, the suffering, which is called in Tibetan Tingnak, the suffering. And in this realm or the type of the beings, the experience will be like the entire world is covered by the hot iron, and the universe is completely spread with the hot iron or the metals, and then our bodies are also laid on this and then the ground in this world, and like we can imagine, we are lying on this realm or in this sphere, as if the wooden logs are just spread on the ground, and then not only that, we also visualize our bodies, which is like a wooden log laying on the floors, kind of cut into different pieces. First, it was measured into different pieces: 4 pieces, 8 pieces, 16 pieces, or the 32 pieces, and then upon that, then with a saw, then our bodies are completely cut into those pieces. So if we are able to contemplate or visualize it in this way, then this will benefit us. We are cut our bodies, which is like a wooden log on the floors, are cut into different pieces, and then again it was rejoined, and then piece again made cut into different pieces, so forth. If we kind of visualize the process again and again, this will help us very tremendously. So now take a few minutes and contemplate on these points.
so then the some down young day, then around the and the lava sema soba doja down, digi chungse tuba down, the nela soba and Namja Tau, you do Kangjan Malan, Sakawa, Chemating down, Dendela door, toiting the droid, that so Soilum Jacala Havodoa. Also, Nyawa, the Nena Javaina, and the Tongal Kazun Yongo Gure, Netungal Semabare. Any that the Tongal de Loche that need in a mother, Mambajun Yongo Gure, Nazun me lo Jala. Any la sumja sum de nyamachi zigure and sumja sum de nyam lo any tongje la nyawa yangso de ni nyamachi energy be nyawa yangso korang lo tongda chigire la tongal de nyongo go yure o de ne tongal mong nyonga ne samna dang go no.
So then thinking about normal the suffering such as our fingers being pierced by a thorn or some getting a small cut by a knife, so forth, and also walking on the hot sand with the bare foot, so forth. We experience tremendous suffering, right? Then if we actually had to kind of take the suffering of the helpings like that, extreme sufferings, then we can think about how would that be, no? They are much more intense and there's the unbearable than the normal experience we usually have, right? And then generally humans' life, 100 years will be one day for the God, the beings from God realms. And then God realms, 1,000 days will be, very low, 100 years for the hell beings. And then, the hell beings then generally, experience suffering for the longest times, right? So we can, think about these things. The hell beings are completely, in the worst state of the situations.
다 아니 somba düjum ji ne kor yang samlo dang go do ane tenje na chen jene ane sashi tongzum jing de nyam bi sa de yin ba ane sangma jak ge na chen ba member yo ba de ji sa yo ba sa samo chau cha jang pe me zam ba member de yo ba de ne je samlo dang de teng do ane so dang da ni semje nyawe semje ta chang me ba bang bu me ba mong ba yo ba ten ni lo to ne me ba ka sa gore ri da cha da de ne mong ba je ni lo am re da mong bo je chu la de ni ne ne semje kang bo chu la du ni za men tong ba na je no so bo sang ma cher ma dung and sometimes they sometimes the man khashet in a temengel khashet in a luidang then a ma tumbo chabam luidun the chirne then ma the laba kamba sama nyen then a charge and chungwa yina yang and temba salte ba dongal nyong te number shar yang then the reading so ya kasawara kya yong le luidun zangar nang shin so yang mala tepta then chenne khorang 균세 매바 동al 되는 용어 되는지 섬라다에도 다 갑가시 so reading so ji samjanda minde nyongo dende ene radang tundra la so ba samjang mong ba jonggo en ba ji le di jo no so so le cherbam tung en ba tung en de ne ngo men tung na jo so ba ma tung yang so ta dende chene 동al nyonga ji ene da de le du jom se yore samjang mong ba so le du ne de ne chom ja de ne o de ne 동al mutu ne nyonga ja ne 다 소소 딩 나라 동al nyongde ba jo soso sobo de tsirba da ane chak ba da tu ba da de yang jar nga na chen jur o de 동al yang nyongwa de yang ja na samlo dang go bu do de ne kyo san ne samlo dang ro na
Okay, then after the Tingnak experience, and then the third experience is called Dujom in Tibetan, and probably it's more like the complete crushings, you know. Oh, then this complete crushing experience. For this, we imagine the entire world, the three world, is in nature, composed of the iron or made of iron, and then within it the entire earth is being burned. The fires are rising from everywhere. So it's extremely hot, and there's scorchings, burning everything there. And then within that world, we ourselves and many other beings are gathered and living in that realms. And then the mountains and the boulders and the trees and all of them are kind of collapsing upon us, and then we are crushed like how we crush medicines, right? So, and then our entire bodies are made into pieces, by those rock and the mountains kind of falling upon us, and then we are made our bodies are split into 1,000 pieces. And then at the same time, while this is happening, we are conscious and we are experiencing all this suffering very consciously. And then mountains are not only one time, it's, first, collapse, and then it, rise back. The mountain trees, they, rise back, and then they collapse again upon us, and we are made into pieces again, and so forth. So the process kind of repeats again and again. Just the process of we are being crushed like a medicine is repeated again and again, happens again and again, and along with that also we can imagine there are some goats and other scary animal from the mountains. They are also attacking us, and and then we are again made into pieces. Our body is made into pieces, so forth. We can imagine this, the thing or the experience of this dream in that way. So please now take a few minutes and contemplate on these points.
나서 근데 전에 니 당하랑 좀미 르덴데라 닝하랑 고당 되는 나라가 쩌와당 아니 뭐다당 도바르라 소부스르와당 쩌와라 소바천나야 동할 쇼좀 연구도와 단냐와 던좀 나라 당어서 전에 동할 용와이나 다 되지 다 그런 자주 동일 진도바 쳐 동할 용도고 요래 다 동할 때 로셀라 삼다와이나 아주 점물링게 미 로닌자라 라 탑돌지는 녀마지 탑돌지 로 녀동라 아니 nyawa tunjum di nyamachi tende jibi korang zo di lo tongda nyi ji bardu tongal nyung gogo yore.
So then, generally, in our normal experience, if our fingers are squeezed between doors or, crushed into between, between rocks or, between cars, so forth, we get to experience tremendous suffering, right? Then, however, compared to this, then the experience in the complete crushing the hell realm experience, then it is very extreme and the tremendous. It's a very extreme and unbearable, right? And the experience in that realm will be much more the unbearable than our normal experience. And then the durations in the experience in that realm will be generally more like in our humans 200 years will be the beings of the demigod around 1 years, and then demigods 2,000 years will be the 1 day for the beings of the complete crushing the hell realms. And so in a way they have to take those experience or suffering for 2,000 years around, for a very long time.
So tene te chala ane nyawa de ngube bare ngube de tene yang tenje nanje sak bo me rang shin ba cha ji rang shin ba tene cha te la tene shin jin le ga mang bo che gi ji so ro tene de nang ten so je so le te song sam te te sha lang yu de na tre de tene pa la ta yu de na kang ba ya bo so ro ji ande la tre sa yi sa yi me na sha the nang la zui ba da ne ko kang ba de ko je kang ba de sama cha ji kang ba rang shin ane so bu pu me men je me de na bar de yo ba tin na la chu ti su yin de ne ngoma yang so na teng na tu jum ji tungal de so ka ro ba din so sama yang je ta din na nyong do do ji nyong go go yore ta de ne ngu ge shor che ne ta de le ka du na thar sa ma re nya ba ji kan so tungal ne be shu ju nyong go go yore o tende je ne tungal nyong shin ba ka le de kan la le te ba de ne tungal nyong ne ngu ge chap shin ba de ne je ne so de tungal nyong je ne kyo sam no da ro na.
This is the experience of ngupe in Tibetan, and English would be more like crying out. And then, for this experience, then, we can imagine the realm is similar to the crushing hell. It's completely burning. The world is on strong fire, and everywhere is fires and sufferings, and then we are trying to escape from those experiences until we are running, and then later we end up entering a house, but that house is again completely made of iron and natural, and at the same time the ground is on fire again, and then our foot catching fires, and we are unable to escape from those experiences. These experiences are in a way similar to the experience of the previous, it's complete crushing the beings or the realm. And so then since we are unable to escape from this suffering, then we are crying, we are lamenting, we are crying for in a way for help, right? So that kind of thing we can that kind of tremendous suffering we can visualize at this point for for this realm experience. So now please take a few minutes and contemplate in this way.
so tan de do tungal de ne nyawe samjen den zo hang ne tu zo de ngarang zo mi lo ne shebja la ne gaden ji nyama chi ne gaden je lo shidong la nyawa ngube de ne nyama chi jebe korang zo lo tong da shi ane tungal nyong ko yore.
So then durations of the suffering in this realm will be like, the human beings one day, or 400 days will be 4,000 years for the god of the Ganden realms. And then the 4,000 days of the Ganden realm will be one day for this helping of cryings, right? So in a way, these helpings have to, take suffering in that way for 1,000. No, it's not 1,000 days, sorry, 1,000 years. So 4,000 years.
Da de jala ngube chewa sege ngube chewa da tenje dang dawo do che sa shi dang kang cha je kang ba dang zo pe che dawo do re ina da chung se men da wa de la ne kang ba cha je kang ba ren ba ni nang la zu che te tang bo ji zu yang den de zhe gu bi na wa sha ne pa ge nang la kang ba ya bo je dong yang zhou yang cha je kang ba ran ju ne ko ni ja ne cha je sha la ja chang ma member ne so bu chang ma me pong na shin cha ane ngoma ji dongal dawo yang nyong tene chebe gabla tene chaji khangba tangbo dile tharba ongdo tana nyeba dile chune thar to samare nyama ji tene dongal shoji nyong ne ane yang lui sama me bar ane kanga jumbo nyangwa ji ane kanga ji shukche ta ne ane ngoge shorwa tene ji samno dango go yure ane tene chuk yang samno dango na.
And then next experience is the great crying in Tibetan Ngöndro Champa. And this experience is similar to the previous one. The world is similar. The world is spread with hot burning irons, and it's completely covered by the hot burning irons. So it's very is unbearable, the experience. So in a way, very similar with the previous one. The difference is, in this experience, the houses we enter, when we are trying to escape from this suffering, then it's two layered. We enter into two kind of layered, the metal or the iron made houses, and the walls and the ground and everything is burning. Then we are experiencing more than the previous ever, more than the previous the realms. And then even if we kind of feel that we might be able to escape from the first the house or the room, but then we still are kind of uncertain that we will be able to escape from the second the rooms. So with that hesitation and the fears and the sorrow, then we are crying. So this is the kind of the scene. There's a very scene full of experience. So now we can contemplate these realm in that way for a while.
나서 다데다오 ngobe chembe nyawa de ni tungal yunru nyongore se na ngazo mi ne lo cheja la ne la tulga je de ne tamrang ga ne tulga ro tulga je nima chi la tulga je nyama kasoro lo tonda je la ne nyawa do de ngobe chewa de ne nima chi che dene jibe korang zo de ton lo don da jeje pardo ne tongal dene nyongo go yobare
the experience of the great crying out, then it will be, for human beings, so 800 years will be these 8,000 years for the god of the Tulkaram. And then the 8,000 years of the Tulkaram will be one day for these hell beings. And so, in a way, these hell beings have to, suffer for 8,000 years.
ne da de jala nyawa chawa se ge ne chagje sa shi tenjin do da sa den so pe chen do re dene ga na dene tim sing sana men do sal sing se ge tim da ji sing ze sum yo ba chagje rang je member do yo ba o dene ga na dene sen nga so so lu din na la ta ba am ze sum den go ne go je thak ba ni jin dene zu ba am yang no ne kang ba ni dang dene o ne zu ne gon mal themba ta chiri yin ne nyong de sam no ma se de yang so teng na la so ba nya wa khong me tongal sam ba ya o ma la nyong go re o de jin so so tongal nyong song sam de go ro de nyong go re da da yang de so so din na la yo ba ji so so de ro tongal nyang de ba ji ne kyo san no sam no da ro na.
Okay, then next is the suffering of the also great heart. This realm will be also similar to the previous ones, and the world is covered by the burning irons, and within that there is a specific instrument, wooden instrument called timxing, under the woods of the rules or the law or something, and with these three, the woods have very sharp, points, and then these, sharp pointed the woods are kind of penetrate onto your own bodies, and then you get to suffer tremendous, the grief and the pains. And it was put from your mouth, then coming out from your bottoms and so forth. From all directions, you are completely so the tortured with these the sharp pointed the stakes, or wooden stakes, right? So. And now we can take a few minutes to contemplate that we are experiencing these specific life by ourselves in there, so in that way it will kind of help us to understand the suffering well. So please take a few minutes to contemplate in this way.
Also, dine te ndawo nyawa te ane tuzo de anzo mi ne lo jigdong zhuja la dine na la kar sore tulga shindu longje la shindu longje ji nyema jigje la shindu longje ji lo ane jigji zhudong dongda zhudu la ane nyawa cawa te ye ane nyema jigje be ane korang zhudu lo dongda zhudu jiring la ane dongal nyongo go yubare esa.
So then the duration in this realm will be like, for humans, the 1,600 years will be 16,000 years for the god of the Shitu Wangje. And then for the Shitu Wangje, so 16,000 years will be one day for this, helping. And so therefore, in a way, these helpings have to, suffer in that way for 16,000 years.
Tandi jala nyawa cawa ye jala rabdu cawa segure. Ta nyawa rabsa te ane kalba ne kalbe pardu shak baje tene karsa gore. Sangye ne Champa tene nang la ane kalbe mangba pardu ne me bar shakba. Me bar ne tene nang la chu yang cho chu chak la soba shu shak baje. chak dang, cho dang, denzo ju ane kol shak baje chu tene nang la ane nyawa ya samchen prakdo me bar chang me bar mangba ane zui te ba. Tadi sang dang sang ji tene ne de tene che chung tong zum jik tene nyaba tene je. Ta le ji dobi tene nang rogo yo yin bare. Di nang la tene so tene zui ne. Kol che tene nga zo tokpa la so ba kol yin zui ba am kol wa nang shen che ne. Ta nyawa samchen de zo tene nang la zui ba am kol de ba tene je. Yin so tene nang la tunga zui de ba tunga nyong. So ba sam go yo re. Ane kaab ta tena la samchen thangme mamba ju tse te go yodu ane kaaba la ten kaaba la wak da ama njuru jogo yore kaan la le windu ane nyawa ki shenje legen ten zo jene towa la so ba dang, tri la so ba dang ta dende nyen nyongo yore kyab yongo yore kyab yudu ane kat chuk tse ne teme rao je jala de ring la ta tungal minyongwa samche dewa chung sa tende tobe je kwa kab je rakse ba re de mayin ba tene tungal shio je nyongo gore kasi dile tharba ongdo ta na 양조 tina lazo ba je dongal cheba che yang tela nyang gore kanda nyawa khama je dongal den so oma nyong go yore ta dele te dongal de da thyoso ka so nyong gore se do na ne pargal chege reng de la ne dongal nyong go yore ta mi lo se samna da na da tanga se tube de ne kala kha ba yin sare khajam mong ba reng la dene dongal nyong go yore o dene dongal nyong a chok samna da na.
Okay, then next one is the realm of the Rapsa, great burning. The tremendous burning, maybe. Then in this realm, then the experience or the theme will be like the huge copper cauldrons of vessels is on the fires of the eons. The fire is burning for eons, and then on that there is the cauldrons, the copper cauldrons, and within it thousands different hell beings are being boiled or being cooked, and all different kinds of beings are being cooked there for many years, and then ourselves are also included, or within those beings are being boiled in these cauldrons, huge cauldrons, and these cauldrons also the size will be as big as the the universe, and then in this gigantic corporate the cauldrons, and there's all different kinds of beings are being boiled like noodles, how we boil noodles, right? And then sometimes we are kind of boiled on the surface. Sometimes we are boiled on the the deep down in the cauldrons. When we come out of the surface, then we are striking with knives and hammers and spheres, and then we put back into the depth to the cauldron again. So in that way, it's the suffering in this realm is much more than above the sufferings. Generally the the lower the realm sufferings are kind of the others, the upper the sufferings are included in the next following the realms. So then at the same time there are a few more extras, their sufferings in the following realm. So then the later realms have the sufferings are much greater or much more tremendous than the earlier ones. So anyway, in that kind of realm, cold and boiling, the world, we are being boiled like noodles. So we can visualize the thing in that way and contemplate ourselves taking that suffering.
Also, Deche and Ngöndro Tenje some dinner, Mala Kalea.
That's that. And now please follow me in changing where we left in the text.
Jaya Rolba Jembe Gilungro Teja Zanga Jebe Gewa Tusum Zabe Gezo Gondom Lame Janjo Ningboro Ngora Ndi Sonam Deye Daye Jowa China Zangwe Barje Gunje Remye Lamje Jeba Darje Pema Jalbe Goba Nyurdo Jo Zaju Lam Chelam Ningla Jo Yedam Gandru Luda Jib Chujon Zombe Barje Gonzala Chodun Gojo Raji Jo Mao Bezrangoro Bem Sede O Mijede Lejebe Yejene Ozanyo Megaye Dame Sonjo Wan Bejo Darangona Rajenjo Bejinjo Bemawe Chuni Ngon Zomjazere Delelo Nyanongo Bejame Ganjembo Rembaze Bebabu Drages Choose Lo De Doje Lo Garanjur Devende Megombo Daye Ninjendere Chana Bemondo Kosum go de jime do jens. Kando jo be zenjo de lazo. Zendango ye namro dale be jojo cha. Chembe dun zander. Da jenga nyam ye je jazong. Zede be ma da do je warajo de yare. Nam je zen lam la de ne go da ye je jazong. Zun je la me go ba nyurudong. Ranger de Nilun de Drobarajo de Meje Daire me Bemanjo Ranando Sando Barej Nare Yere me Maju Nume de Ne Nam da Jendo de Warajo Kando jewe jewa dam jendo dore yunde dunde do bara Kema da do che dan che jurene zoljen jube rawa do bara Che don nene nyembo dun job de cedre se ben jazo ngalora Tseban dambe jarab denje je shemben jubla tyongala be bara Tam labje jende chore me baye tamje jamje sanje do barajo nazo ane toje che ane tamje ane kozo toja na tulaje majayong.
Thank you very much, everyone, and please take care. We will see each other next week.